Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, most gracious, the merciful. Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope you all are doing well. Welcome to our new lesson. As you all know, we are studying New Oxford Modern English Book 4 by Nicholas Horsburgh and Claire Horsburgh. Previously, you have studied the reading and comprehension of the lesson 1, Pippi Longstocking. Today, we are moving towards its exercise C, learning about language. And I'm your teacher, Mrs. Sonia Lareb. In this exercise, we will study participles, articles, use of who and which, and noun. First of all, we will study participles. Participles are the words that are formed from a verb and function as adjective. Means participles ऐसे अल्फाज हैं जो वर्ब से बनते हैं और काम adjective का करते हैं, which means they have to qualify a noun or a thing. Before moving on to the next, let's do a quick review about verb and adjective. Do you remember what a verb is? Yes, a verb is a word used to describe an action. And what about the adjective? An adjective is a word used to describe a noun or thing. Here is an example. The panda was happy to see the rising sun. I repeat, the panda was happy to see the rising sun. In this example, rising is a participle because rise is a verb and rising describes what the sun is doing. It means rising is doing the job of an adjective. Let us see how participles are formed. Present participles almost always end in ing, while the past participles are formed by adding d, ed, n, en, or t to the base form of verb. For example, crying girl and boiling water are the examples of present participles, while the girl cried and the water boiled are the examples of past participles. Let us see the examples of participles in sentences. The girl threw the broken plate. In this sentence, broken is the past participle of the verb break. In another sentence, the king found the burnt statue. The verb burnt is the past participle of the verb burn. Before moving on to the page number 6 of your book, you must all know that form of verb may change according to the person, number, and tense. A verb can have the base form, the present participle or ing form, the past tense form, and the past participle form. The following table illustrates the different forms of verb. Let us look at the verb break. The verb break is the base form of past tense form broke and past participle form broken. The verb show is the base form of past tense form showed and past participle form of the verb shown. The verb go is the base form of past tense form went and the past participle form gone. The verb cheat is the base form of verb cheated and past participle form of the verb cheated. Rest of the verb will also be done like this. On your book, page number 6, question number 2 for participles is use all the words in the end columns in sentences of your own. It means you have to make the sentences of past participle forms of the verb. You must do it on your notebooks. Okay, next move on towards article. Article is a word that modifies or describes the noun. It is used before the noun to show whether it refers to something specific or not. Article is also doing the job of an adjective because it describes or modifies the noun. It is used to show that either the noun is referring to something specific or not, कि कोई चीज खास है या नहीं है, हमें ये आर्टिकल बताते हैं. Let us see how they tell us that something is specific or not. Types of article. There are two types of article, definite article and indefinite article. Definite means something specific and indefinite means something unspecific or something not clear. Now, definite article is to be clear, exact or obvious about something, while the indefinite article is something which is not clear, obvious or exact. Let us compare both the articles. A and an are the indefinite articles while the is the definite article, as the refers to something specific and a and an refers to something not specific. For example, I need a phone. Now, a phone is not something that is specific. There are a lot of phones we can have. While in the example under the is, can you give me the books on the table? Now here, both the speaker and the listener knows about the books. A and an used the first time we introduce an object. For example, I saw a movie last night. A एंड एन हम तब यूज करते हैं जब हम फर्स्ट टाइम किसी चीज को इंट्रोड्यूस करवा रहे होते हैं, जिसके बारे में आपका जो लिसनर होता है, जिससे आप बात कर रहे होते हैं, उसको नहीं पता होता. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई सा अ मूवी लास्ट नाइट. दैट इज समथिंग द लिसनर डजेंट नो. While the is used when we mention the object again. द हम तब यूज करते हैं जब हम एक चीज को दोबारा से मेंशन कर रहे होते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, द मूवी इज बेस्ड ऑन अ रियल लाइफ इंसिडेंट. इट मीन्स दैट वी हैव talked about that movie before. A and an used as synonyms for the number 1. For example, they bought a computer. Now, in this example, one is one is replaced by a, while the is used before plural countries or other plural regions and bodies of water. The is used for plurals, while a and an is used for singular or one. A and an is used to indicate one of a group. For example, she is a singer, while the is used before certain adjectives to give a plural meaning. For example, the rich. Now, after this comparison, you must know where to add a and an and the. Let us move on towards your book, page number 6, and half of the exercise is on page number 7 under the heading of articles. Question number is 3. Add articles to the following where necessary. Note that not all the blanks require an article. Now, I have done it for you. Once upon a time, there lived a king who was a fine man. Now, in the first sentence, there is nothing specific. Not a time is specific, not the king is specific, not the fine man is specific. The kingdom he ruled was very large, and all the people who lived in it were happy and prosperous. Now, in the second sentence, the kingdom and the people both are specified by the king, who is the ruler of the kingdom as well as the people. One day, a great flood of water came pouring down from the mountains and swept away the palace and most of the city. Many of the people were drowned, but the king sent his army and carried everyone to some high ground. In this way, he saved many people from death. Now, have you understand this completely? Okay, good. Now move on to our next topic, that is use of who and which. Who is always used for people. For example, this is Mohit who lives next door, while which is always used for things. For example, this is the dog which has a strange name. In things, always remember we mention the objects as well as animals. Animals can also be considered as things. That is why we use which for the animals as well. Okay, now move on to your book, page number 7, using who or which. Question number 4. Join the following sentences with who or which. Remember that we usually use who for the people and which for things. Now, first sentence is this is the dog. It has a strange name. Now, there are two sentences and we have to join them by using who or which. Now, remember the point that we will use who for people and which for things. Now, in the first sentence, we will use which instead of it and join the sentences like this is the dog which has a strange name. Now, same will be the case with the sentence number 2. This is the bin. The dog tipped it over. How will you write it as by using which. This is the bin which the dog tipped over. Now here the pronoun it will be omitted because we have used which, that is referring to the bin. This is the teacher. She told the boys to be quiet. Now the teacher is a human being, and for the teacher we will use who. This is the teacher who told the boys to be quiet. We will omit the pronoun she in the sentence and we will join the sentence by using who. Now these are the children. They are throwing water at us. Children are all also human beings. We will use who for them. In next sentence, this is the fence. They looked over it. Now fence is an object or a thing. We will use which for the fence. In next sentence, this is Mohit who lives next door. Mohit is referring to a human being. He is a human being. So that's why we will use who for Mohit. And in the last sentence, this is the cat. It comes into our house every night. What we will use here is which, because cat is also coming under the heading things. We will use this is the cat which comes into our house every night. I hope you have got the use of who and which clearly. Now, let us move on to our last topic, that is nouns. A noun is a person, place, animal, or thing. For example, under the heading of person, we can say a girl or a boy, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, Mrs. Jones. These are all persons. Under the heading of place, we can say school, home, playground, zoo are all the places named as noun. In animals, we can say dog, bee, frog, cow, lizard, and things are book, flower, shoe, and pencil. Now let us find the nouns from your book, page number 7. Under the heading of nouns, there is a question. Underline the nouns in the following sentences. Keep the definition of noun in your mind and find out the nouns in the sentences. Sentence number 1 is once upon a time there was an old man called Ramesh. Now the noun here is man and Ramesh because both are referring to the person. Number 2 is one day he took his dog and went to the forest. Now here are three nouns: day, dog, and forest. Sentence number 3 is suddenly out of the bushes came a fierce tiger. Can you find a noun here? Yes, bushes and tiger. Ramiz was afraid, but his dog feared no man or creature. Now, Ramiz, dog, man, and creature are the nouns here in this sentence. It took one step towards the tiger and barked. Now, in this sentence, nouns are step and tiger. In the sentence F, Ramiz stood with his back against a tree. Now, in this sentence, Ramiz is a noun as person. Back is also a noun as your part of a body. And tree is a noun as a thing. In G, soon the tiger ran into the forest. Now, tiger and forest are noun, as you all know. In sentence H, Ramiz went home and told his wife about their brave pet. Now, in this sentence, Ramiz, home, wife, and pet. These four are nouns. In sentence I, well done, she said in a loud voice, and the dog wagged its tail. In this sentence, voice, dog, and tail are nouns. Was it easy for you to finding nouns? Good. Now our topics have ended. Let's recap our topics, what we have studied today. First of all, we have learnt about the participles, what participles are and how they are formed. For example, a participle is a word that is formed from a verb and function as adjective. We have learnt the formation of participles by adding ing, d, ed, n, en, or t. We also have studied that how the forms of verb changes according to the person, number, and tense in sentences. Next, we have studied about articles, the two types of articles, and when to use those articles. What we have learned in articles is articles are the words that modifies or describes a noun. It also shows that a noun is something referring to a something specific or not. Then we have learned the two types of articles, that are definite article and indefinite article. Definite article always refers to something specific. For example, the book, while indefinite article always refers to something unspecific. For example, a book. Then our next topic was use of who and which. We made it clear that who is always used for people, while which is always used for things. And our last topic was nouns. We already know about nouns, that noun is a name of place, person, or a thing. And we have practice the nouns by finding them in the sentences. Now, you must be clear about all the topics we have studied today. Hope for the best, and for the next class, it ends for today. Thanks to all of you. Allah Hafiz.